Hi everyone, Gabriela here with the last video of our Fall into Halloween series. Today, I bring you another employee challenge. This time around, I challenged everyone to make something out of either Halloween or fall-themed fabrics. And wow, did these entries impress me. We have a great selection of seasonal quilting cottons in all kinds of styles, but sometimes it's difficult to visualize what you could make with these fabrics. So I thought this was the perfect challenge to inspire all of you to get creating for the holidays coming up. For this challenge, we had lots of brave contestants come forward with their sewing and crafting expertise. We are filming this video because we need you to vote for your favorite entry, and the contestant with the most votes will win this challenge. Also, to add some excitement, this time around, we are picking 2 random voters to win a $50 Sewing Studio gift card. Yes, that means 2 of you could win $50 to shop for fabric just for voting. I can't wait to show you what everyone made, so let's get started. Introducing contestant number 1, Sheila. Hey Sheila.
Hi.
So tell us about your project. Let's hold it up here.
Okay, well, this is a wall hanging kind of thing to hang on my front door. I do this every month. I got the pattern from a customer, told me about a Jelly Roll Club online, and there's a Gnome of the Month on there, and you can download the patterns for free.
That little gnome is adorable. Look at all those little spiders you added.
Yep.
And so you embroidered and also appliqued,
yes,
it looks like.
Yeah. I used 2 different fabrics for the background, and
Okay.
and then I used craft batting inside. I think it's called thermolam or something.
Yeah, that's like the thicker
Yeah.
batting. Yeah.
And it's fusible. And
Okay.
then when I'd done that bit, I appliqued this on with heat and bond.
Okay.
I embroidered these first,
I'm gonna have you read some of these out because
Okay.
these are hilarious.
but I embroidered those and then cut them out as tombstones and appliqued those on also. And the lights have got a little switch underneath to turn on and off.
Okay.
And so
And did you come up with these sayings?
I did, out of my crazy brain. For instance, this one, Doris and Winifred didn't like thunder. They got struck by lightning, now they're 6 feet under.
Oh my gosh.
And this is a tale of a witch named Cass. She died when her broomstick ran out of gas.
Oh my
So on. So I hope you like it. And
I think it came out adorable. I mean, who wouldn't want this on their door for the holidays?
yep, I
So
would.
cute. Well,
But-
thanks for your entry, Sheila.
You're very welcome. And hope everybody likes it.
Contestant number 2 is Lynn. I'm going to be sharing her project. It's a really great one. She made a pie holder to keep your baked goods warm and safe on your way to Thanksgiving dinner. And she also made a wine tote to go with it. So how cute would you look rocking up to your Thanksgiving dinner with these 2 bad boys? So great. The fabric that she used is a beautiful, it's from a beautiful fall collection. I believe it's from Timeless Treasures. And let's take a look at this pie holder real quick. So this came from Simplicity Pattern 9522. There's a casserole dish, I believe, in there, along with another project. This is super simple. So it's essentially a square. She quilted the square using edge to edge embroidery. So that's quilting in your embroidery hoop. So it quilts it for you. It looks like there's a strap here. So you'd put your pie here, and then you'd bring this little ring here, and then this other ring the same way. And then you use this as a handle. I mean, how cute is that? And I don't know if I said this, but she used in the middle here, instead of batting, she used Insulbright. So that's what keeps your baked goods warm. And then let's talk about this wine tote for a second here. I assume if you have like a white wine that needs to be chilled, it looks like she used Soft and Stable in here, and I don't see why that wouldn't keep your wine cool on your way to your Thanksgiving dinner. These detailed little straps are so cute. And then you can let your guest keep this wine holder for their next Thanksgiving dinner. So great job, Lynn. This is a great entry. Introducing contestant number 3, Brenda. Welcome, Brenda.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about your project. So you made these bags?
I made these with the Firefly tote. There's 2 sizes of totes. There's a large tote and there's a small tote that's called the project tote.
Oh my gosh. And you used the gnome Halloween fabric.
I used the gnome Halloween. I used the panel, part of the bottom of this panel.
Okay.
The little ones I used for the front. Here, let me turn it around. I used it for the front.
Adorable. I mean, that's a really good pocket size.
Yeah, it is.
To fussy cut a pocket.
Yep.
So use that here.
I use that there.
And then for this one, you just use the tossed gnomes.
I just used the regular gnome pattern. For the top of this one, I used this. It's like a border print.
Right.
But that's what I used for the top.
And that came out really nice for that little cinched detail.
Yeah. And then we just got in the So Hungry Hippie. We got the orange stripe zipper and the webbing.
This webbing is perfect, especially for this fabric.
Okay, let me explain the tote. There's a little zipper bag first here, and it's lined.
Okay.
Then there's a little pocket right here.
Oh my gosh.
And I made this little bag to go with it, and I used another one of the things from the panel. And it opens, and it's lined.
Okay, and all of these are lined the same.
They're all lined.
So you've got some polka dot fabric in the lining of there.
And it has a pocket,
pouch.
and it has a zipper pocket, a regular pocket on the inside.
Awesome.
Now this little bag
it's so cute.
It has a special little bag inside. I don't know if you can see it. I'll pull it out.
Yeah, let's pull it out.
I put a hook on it so you can hook it on the inside. Use the same tape. It's lined with yellow. And it hooks on the inside.
Wow.
And that's my project.
These came out so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really.
I had fun making it. This is really an easy tote. On YouTube, there's a 3-week series that takes you step by step on how to make them. So they're very easy to make.
Okay. And then you've made these quite a few times, so it just gets easier the more
you make
it, right?
And I use the Decoville light. This is the twill, and I use the Decoville light. It gives a little bit of body.
It does give nice body without it being fluffy.
Fluffy,
you know?
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Brenda, for your entry.
Well, thank you.
Introducing contestant number 4, Melinda.
Hi.
Welcome, Melinda.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at your project.
All right, so I needed some new placemats for my fall table, and so I found this beautiful collection that we have of fall and Thanksgiving fabric, and I decided to make some placemats out of it. So I went looking online and managed to find a free pattern from Robert Kaufman. It's called Pick 6 Placemats. I've got a copy of it here, there.
Okay,
and
we'll link that for you guys too.
Yes. This pattern calls for 6 fat quarters to make 6 placemats. For my table, I didn't need 6 placemats. I only wanted 4 placemats. So I went with 4 fat quarters instead of 6. And because of that, you'll see that I ended up with repeats within each placemat. If you do 6 fat quarters and 6 placemats, you'll end up with 1 piece of each fabric in your placemat. But since I did fewer, I had multiple pieces in there.
Okay. I mean, I think they look gorgeous. And surely if somebody only needed 4 placemats, they could also still buy 6 fat quarters.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, that just goes to show you can do whatever you want, really, when you're making your own project.
Yes. It's a very nice adaptable pattern.
Yeah. And I love how they all coordinate.
Yes.
But they're not the same. I mean, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And then did you have any waste or anything like that, or extra scraps, or?
There was a little bit left over from each fat quarter.
Maybe a mug rug?
Yeah, you could definitely do a set of mug rugs to go with this. Absolutely. One thing I would say about the pattern, there is a typo in the cutting list. And
Okay.
so it said, if you're looking at the pattern, if you follow their cutting diagram, you'll be fine. If you follow their listed cuts, the second one, the 3.5 inch by length of fabric strip, they have that wrong. Instead of 3.5 inches by 9 inches, you actually need 3.5 inches by 12.5 inches. So just be aware of that. But it is correct in their diagram here.
Okay. And I see that you cut using the list. So
I did.
You fixed it in a really smart, clever way. I just want to show this because, I mean, you're not even going to be able to see this, really. You matched the pattern here with your extras. So, I mean, that
yes, I was able to use some of my scraps to fix it there.
That's expert level fixing. Only something Melinda could do.
You can do it too.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Contestant number 5 is Howard. Obviously, this is not Howard. This is Randy. Thank you for standing in for Howard today.
You're welcome.
But Howard gave me a little bit of a excerpt on his project, explained it to me. So I'm gonna go ahead and read that. So as you can see, he used the very large gnome panel as his full apron. So he made an apron. He lined it with a really nice red-orange polka dot that goes awesome with the gnomes. I mean, look, it's like the same color as the hat. And the most exciting thing about this apron is usually he says, I have been creating and teaching this type of apron for years and have usually thrown the cutaway corner triangles into the scrap bin. So what he means by that is the triangles he cuts from this huge square panel, you have these triangles that you cut out so that you can fit your arms in it, right? So usually he throws those scraps away, but this time around he was like, no, 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 I need to use those scraps. So he found a way to use his scraps without any waste by making these pot holders. I think that is so creative and so cool. It goes with the apron because obviously he's using the same fabrics. So he was able to get these 2 pot holders from the scraps from his triangle waist. And on the inside of these pot holders, he used Insulbrite, and he just made simple half square triangles with the solid polka dot lining on the back and little loopholes. Great job, Howard, and thank you, Randy, for standing in.
You're welcome.
Introducing contestant number 6, Cathy.
Hi there, everyone.
Welcome, Cathy. Let's talk about this awesome project.
Well, we had this fantastic panel,
Yeah, this was a
Abracadabra,
panel, believe it or not,
and
huge
it makes
panel.
a beautiful wall hanging too.
Yeah.
But I said, there's got to be something else you can do with it, so I made a backpack.
Okay, let's diagnose. Let's
break it
digest
down.
this. Yeah,
Alrighty.
let's
So I
talk
didn't
about
want to,
this.
a backpack only has so much space, and I did use the Lynn's handmade mini sport pack
Okay.
pattern. The only adjustment I did was I did keep the hat in, and how I did that was this is all lined with soft and stable,
Okay.
and when you cut your soft and stable, you cut also around the hat. You cut the piece so
this
you can
is
feel
all
it's in
one
here too. It
piece.
gives it some body. This is all one piece of soft and stable, and I just gave it a little quilting just to hold it together.
Okay.
I used the entire panel to make the bag.
Oh, so even the sides and everything
The
is all part of the
sides-
panel. Okay, let's turn this around.
Right. The back is the
So that's
pumpkins.
all
That's all
part
part
of
of
the
the panel.
panel.
Everything, all the little pieces. The only thing was different. I used the pleather leather
And how did you
vegan
do that?
vinyl. And these, I have a little tip for strap making. I took like a 2.5 inch. I wanted a 1 inch strap. I took 2.5 inches strips.
Okay.
I folded in half and I stitched the edge. This edge first, the folded edge, just an edge stitch. Then I stitched the width, 1 inch out and trim it afterwards. And the reason you do that, it's much easier to sew and it gets you a nice clean line.
Because it is so clean on that
Yeah,
edge. And I
yeah.
mean, it can only be that
But
clean
you
if
have
you're
a
cutting it
narrow
with a
space
rotary
to
cutter.
sew on, it's not easy. It's
Right.
much harder, yeah. So if you have a little bit extra and then you trim it off with
That's
your
a great
Alpha
tip.
cutter, yeah.
And so let's talk more about how we did this hat here. So I see you have a lining on the other side. So how did you do that?
Yeah, so after I put the panel on the soft and stable, I also cut out an extra little piece, the shape of the top with a little extra at the bottom.
Okay.
And then I sewed it like I was making
Right
anything.
sides together.
Right sides together, flipped it over so it would all be nice and lined.
And then it's all tucked into that
And when I
seam
put the
there?
gusset on, you know, you just catch in that extra piece of fabric. You're not catching in the foam. You're just catching that extra piece of lining fabric.
Wow.
And then it just stands right up.
I mean,
And
the
look at those eyes.
creativity that took to even think this up. I mean, it's really, really awesome,
Oh, thank
Cathy.
you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, let's see it on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me zip it up. You should put it on. It matches you Halloween.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean,
Look how cute.
who wouldn't want to wear
I
this for
know.
the Halloween season? And it's the perfect size. It's not too big, not too
Yep.
small.
That lens is a nice size.
Oh,
It fits the
my
little
gosh.
panel.
Cathy, you outdid yourself.
Well, thank you. I love doing it. I love doing fun things.
Contestant number 7 is Patti Mack. She can't be here, so I'm sharing her project. So she embellished a pair of ready-to-wear jeans with embroideries. I'm going to show you a close-up here. Embroideries and other Halloween themed cottons. So I'll start with the tears on the jeans. There's one on like the thigh and one on the knee. So she didn't really want the tear anymore, and she wanted a pair of pants to wear during the holiday season, Halloween season. So she picked a couple of small scale Halloween prints to put on the other side of her hole. And it shows through really nicely. And she also embroidered a little bat here. And it looks like she maneuvered the jeans in a way, you guys can do this too. She maneuvered them in a way where she hooped it in her embroidery hoop like this and embroidered on away. And there is another embroidery design. It looks like she glued this one on because you can't really embroider in a pocket like that. But that's another cute little bat detail for the Halloween season. And that is a great entry. Thanks so much, Patti. Introducing contestant number 8, June. Welcome, June.
Hi.
I can't stop smiling about these projects. Tell us
you.
about what you did here.
Thank you. Well, the challenge was to use our Halloween fabrics.
And did you ever use these Halloween fabrics?
So I decided, let's make some cute little gnome trick-or-treaters for the door. Something different, something out of the box.
And you made outfits for these gnomes. Let's talk
I
about
did.
what's the structure? What is this gnome made of?
The structures are pool noodles.
Okay.
We with different size pool noodles and put together, formed, and
And you said you followed a tutorial?
I did. I watched, well, don't we all? We watch YouTube.
YouTube?
We learn a lot of things from there and kind of took some information and kind of made them a little bit larger so they can go to at the door when the trick-or-treaters come up.
Right.
You can have some cute little.
Bigger's always better.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with the pattern or the design of these outfits?
The shape of the vampire's cloak was from
Let's turn this guy around.
a pattern for a little cape for a child.
Okay.
And I downsized and just took,
So this is a full cape.
yes, and it's a double-sided cape with a batting inside, so that
Oh yeah, you did
it would
put interfacing in that.
stand.
It's standing up. Let's turn this
Yes.
guy.
All right.
It is so awesome. I mean, look at that.
Thank you.
And then you use some faux fur for the beards.
Faux fur for the
Little
beards.
gnome beards and a wooden nose.
Yes. And just some yarn for her little braids, for the little witch's braids.
And that was a great addition.
And her
then
cute little tulle. I love the tulle. I'm like, no, the skirt needs a little bit of
yes.
little tulle.
And then you used clay for...
I did. I used clay for building some hands so they can hold their trick-or-treat bag.
Look at
And
these
they're
little things. I mean, how adorable. Like the detail that you used for this, June. I'm like shocked.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And then you have little Converse shoes.
I had fun. When you said we got a challenge coming, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited. What am I going to do?
I want to make some now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your entry.
Thank you. All right. Have a good day. Bye.
Introducing contestant number 9, Kelsey.
Hi everybody, I'm Kelsey and I made a bib for my little baby Nolan out of our fall themed fabric. I was inspired by this Team Turkey print and we'll take a closer look at it so I can talk more about it. This is an embroidered bib. So that means the whole entire thing was made in an embroidery hoop. It calls for a 9.5 inch by 14 inch hoop. And I purchased the embroidery design from Sweet Pea Designs. That's one of my favorite companies to stitch out things from. I love this fabric because we are big football fans in my family, and I loved right away that I saw the turkeys were wearing black and gold jerseys.
That is such a cute little detail.
I know, and you may or may not know, I went to UCF, my husband went to UCF, we have season tickets, Nolan's gonna be at the football games, I'll probably have to bring him in this.
Oh my gosh, because yeah.
He drools a lot, he's 4.5 months old, and so when this competition came to be, I said, what can I make that is going to be used in the future? So a bib it was.
And there's a lot of cushion in here to soak up that drool.
Yeah. So as I was making it, obviously I had to use this. These are 100% cotton. I put diaper flannel in the center.
Okay.
So when I do lift it up to wipe him, at least it'll be soft there.
Yeah.
Inside of this is some embroiderable batting that we sell by the yard. And I liked the little bow tie. I added Nolan's name before I went and embroidered the whole thing.
Well, that's the beauty of having an embroidery machine and making your own projects, because you can put that little personal touch in there.
Yeah. This was a font built in the machine. It's a block font, pretty standard in most of the brother and baby locks. It came together very quickly. Just have some Velcro up here. And I put the same print on the back, and Nolan's going to be wearing this all of November for football season.
Yes, and it's reversible too, in case he spills some food over over here.
In case this side gets all wet.
Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you so much for this entry, Kelsey. It's so cute, and Nolan is just going to look awesome in it.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Introducing contestant number 10, Janet.
Good morning,
Hello.
Gabriela.
Janet, tell us about your project.
Okay, this is an in the hoop design from Sweet Pea Embroidery.
I love it. It's so cute.
It comes in 3 sizes,
Okay.
and the 3 different blocks are held together with the ribbon.
Okay. And then, so you use some nice neutral-ish Halloween fabrics because it's like a kind of like a wild design, right?
Yes, I was trying to show it off a little bit, the design instead of just the fabric.
Yeah, I love the details. Did you use some kind of foam in here?
I did use the foam inside. Instead of batting, I wanted a more firm letter.
Okay.
And I used a tearaway stabilizer with it. I also used the bobbin thread was the same, so I could show the spider on both sides.
That's good. And it's like, especially if it's like on a door outside and it's blowing in the wind, it'll look nice on the other side.
Yes, on both
too.
sides.
Yeah. So where did you get this embroidery design?
This was Sweet Pea Machine Embroidery online.
Okay.
And you can purchase their designs.
They have good designs. So what else do you have to tell us about this?
Hey, it's a spooky season. You need one of these for your front door.
Okay. Thank you, Janet.
Thank you.
Contestant number 11 is Pamela. She can't be here, so I'm going to share her project. And she wrote out a little explanation as to what she did. So let's take a look. So it looks like she quilted a quilt and wrapped it around a canvas. So what she wrote was, the project uses a single block from the pattern Ghost Party by Woolly Petals. The block is constructed at half scale and additional background squares were used to fill the space. The panel is quilted using a straight line quilting technique that creates a spider web motif, which is awesome. I want to point that out because straight line quilting technique means she used a walking foot and she just sewed a straight line in that design until she reached the end. And I just think that that is so creative, especially for Halloween. Once quilted, the panel was wrapped over a pre-mounted canvas from the craft supply store. She says having a mini quilt wrapped around a canvas is a great way to introduce holiday decor or quilt decor into your home, because instead of trying to find a way to hang your quilt, you can just hang it like you would hang a painting because it's wrapped around a canvas, or since it has its own form, you can lean it up against a wall, set it on a counter. So I think that's a great way to introduce quilting into your holiday decor and into your home. So thanks so much for your entry, Pamela.
Introducing contestant number 12, Gabriela.
Hi, everyone. So I guess I'll talk about my project.
Let's hear it. You're wearing it.
Yes, I'm wearing it. I'm sure you've noticed that this is Halloween cottons. I use the Art Gallery Spooky and Witchy, I believe it's called. Okay. I loved the color scheme because generally I'm not super attracted to Halloween cottons, but the color scheme was a little downplayed and they used like pinks and other like not super Halloween-y colors, so I really liked that. Essentially what I did was I used this pattern, one of the new Know Me patterns from Mimi G, and it's a blazer dress. So I thought, okay, let me do my patchwork thing, make a whole quilt, cut a bunch of squares, twist them around in different ways, sew them all together, and then cut my pattern pieces out of that.
Okay.
I will say, it's a little much. So sometimes in sewing, I mean, this is a learning experience. Sometimes in sewing, we think it's going to look great and then it doesn't really turn out the way that we planned. So we make design changes. So this dress was supposed to have sleeves and I thought it's just too much fabric going on, right?
Too many squares.
Too many squares, too much going on. So I decided to forego the sleeves, but I'm glad that I did because I can show a little bit about how I did this in case anybody wants to do a patchwork garment like this, because it's a lot easier than it looks. So here is the pattern piece that I cut out for the sleeve. And essentially, before I cut anything out, I kind of assembly lined it. And I cut a bunch of 3-inch squares and I put all of the orange squares in one pile, all of this print in one pile, and so forth and so on. And so I sewed all of one together in one strip, and then I sewed them all in the same strip in the same sequence. And then when I was putting my quilt together, I put this sequence starting with the orange going this way, and then I sewed the other strip with the orange starting here going this way so that the same print wasn't right next to each other. But as you can see, the orange is kind of intermingled, but I did like that design.
I like it too.
So once I made my big quilt tops, then I cut my pattern pieces out of it. So really, it is a very simple technique. I mean, minus the fact that you're piecing all these squares, but I mean, it was fun. I sat in front of the TV and I pieced all these squares, and then cut my pattern pieces out of it. And then the lining, you can't see because I'm wearing it, but I featured, oh my gosh, I love these new Alexander Henry Halloween cottons.
Yes.
Aren't they so awesome?
That one's pretty epic. The
Yeah.
coloring is like goosebumps coloring.
I thought I have to use this somewhere. So you can't see it because I'm wearing the dress, but here you can see it now.
And you know it's there and it makes you happy.
Yeah, exactly. A couple more features of this garment is, I mean, essentially it is a blazer dress. And I loved that because I love blazers. So you have the classic lapel. With this, I used the patchwork design on the inside. You could have used the lining on the inside. You can just cut out whatever fabric you want for that piece. And then going down, there were pockets, but I thought normally I love pockets and I would have made them functional. But I thought because there's so many seams and so much going on, the way that these pockets were designed and made, there would have just been too many seams to work with. So I decided to just have it as a decorative element. But next time I make it, if I make it with just one fabric, I'll certainly make these functional pockets. And then I loved these buttons, blazer buttons. They have little flowers on them. So I added those, and I love that it's like 2 lines instead of just 1 line of buttons.
Well, Gabriela, that was a fabulous entry.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you for participating.
Introducing contestant number 13, Nivia.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey.
Nivia. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your project. Let's hold it up because wow, you made a table runner. It is huge.
It is huge.
It's
yeah.
very long. So you have a large table.
I do have a large table, and I like my runners to cover the table.
Oh
So
my gosh.
I did it. Yeah.
Yes.
I had this pattern. I had a pattern for a while.
Okay. You had it laying around?
I had it laying around for some years already.
Okay.
So I said, one day I'm going to make this. And this challenge was my excuse to
Make something
make
fall
something.
themed for
Yeah.
your house.
And of course, the colors on the pattern I didn't like. And I'm Caribbean and Puerto Rican, so I like bright colors.
I
So-
love your color selection.
Mhm.
Let's take a look at that for a second.
Yeah.
What fabric did you start with? Did you start with this
Yeah,
one because
this
it was
is-
fall?
It was a fall, yes. And I
Okay.
was looking at it before you talk about the challenge. I was looking at the fabric,
Yeah.
and I really liked it because that's the colors in my dining room.
Yeah.
I have lots of orange and some blues.
And
So,
this isn't like traditional autumn fabric either.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
then so you picked out these colors and then added accordingly.
right. And that turquoise, I saw it somewhere in
Yeah.
here, and I thought that would be nice. And I picked this one.
Okay.
So the combination between this and the leaves brought me into the blue color.
Yes, I love
So,
it. I love
yeah.
your selection. And is
Mhm.
this a decorative stitch?
This is a decorative stitch from my M7, Janome M7, that I
Okay.
just got, and
A
I'm
wonderful
so happy
machine.
with it. It has so many beautiful
It sews
decorative
nicely,
stitches.
right?
Oh yeah, very strong machine, fast, and I really love it. So I decided to use this decorative stitch.
You
Right.
tested out a few, you thought this one
I
would
did.
fit, and you
I
decided on that one.
That's correct.
And then embellished it off with some rhinestones.
yeah, that was kind of covering some oops. Because
That's okay.
I was-
Everybody has oops.
right, I was trying to make it completely symmetrical.
Yeah.
You know, in the corners, but it was very difficult, working with fabrics and even though it measures the same,
Yeah.
but it didn't quite get the same places are the same. So I said, well, I have to put something nice. So I decided to put some stones in there.
Yeah. We don't call it an oops. We call it a design choice.
Right, right. So don't tell anybody that it was a oops.
Yeah. I wanted sparkle and I added sparkle.
Right, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your entry.
Oh, you're welcome.
Introducing contestant number 14, Carol. Welcome,
Hello.
Carol.
Hi.
All right, let's talk about your project.
Okay, so I decided to do a scarecrow, and I digitized the scarecrow.
Okay, this is a
using-
wall hanging?
Yes,
Okay,
it's a
so
wall
you
hang.
would put a pole in here,
Yes.
like a dowel? Is that
Yes,
what you
a
call it?
dowel
Yeah,
or
okay.
a rod, some sort of rod in there.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Okay, go on.
So I decided to say hello fall, and I digitized the scarecrow using Stitch Artist. And
you
then
digitized this yourself?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
Now I got kind of, and the lettering.
Okay.
The bottom, the flowers and pumpkin, that was from Embroidery Library, and I just split the design to go on either side of the scarecrow.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you combined a few different elements, a few different embroideries in this.
Yes, I did. And so to make his straw, that was kind of a challenge. So I used some Zutash braid. And then when you cut it, it just kind of shreds apart. So he has a 3D element to him.
And it does look like a braid.
Yes.
Wow. That is super creative.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Yeah, I played around with it a little bit, and that worked out. And then I just did buttons for his eyes, and then his shirt has little teeny tiny buttons.
I love it. And then did you quilt this yourself, or was this part of the embroidery?
No, that was free motion quilted.
Of course it was. You're so good at that.
And so I used the pretty fall fabric. I thought this fall fabric went so nice with it. And his little patches, I just did raw edge to make it look like, you know, his clothes are falling apart. So.
Yeah, like a scarecrow.
Yes.
Okay, well, this is an awesome wall hanging. Thank you so much for your
Thank
entry.
you.
Introducing contestant number 15, Maya.
Hello.
Maya is new, so this is probably one of the first times you guys are seeing her on camera on our videos. So thanks for participating, and let's talk about your project.
All right. So this is just a giant pillow that I made. I took a Riley Blake charm pack and I just kind of mixed up the fabrics and sewed them all together to make the top.
I love charm packs because it's a quick way to get a bunch of fabrics all at once and then makes it super quick.
Exactly. No cutting involved.
You get right into sewing.
Yep, exactly. And I just sewed 2 at a time together until they looked the way that I wanted them to.
Okay.
And then I just put some batting behind just the top, and I did some kind of free motion spider web quilting. So we've got, which is super easy. It seems complicated, but you just do like a line across just until they all form in one middle point. And then you just kind of scallop around the edge. It's so easy, and follow your lines.
Are you free motioning that? Or
I just,
are you walking foot?
Walking foot. Yep, yeah, just normal with a walking foot. And I even did a little spider over here.
Yes.
That's still just the walking foot, like just easy. He's not perfect, but he's cute and has a little animated style to him, I think. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then you used a special thread.
Yes, I used glow-in-the-dark thread that we have in stock. So
you won't be able to see it here.
Yeah,
but,
it's a little too bright, but it should glow in the dark so that we have.
It's extra spooky.
Yeah, it's got a little spooky vibes. Just the spider web sticks out. So yeah.
That's awesome. And let's see the back.
Oh yeah, so the back is just like a very easy envelope kind of fold with a nice big zipper.
Yeah, I like the way that you added the zipper because a lot of times we chicken out on zippers, but it looks like this was like
really
an easy installation.
Yep, I just did some binding on either side of the bigger pieces, and then you just sew the zipper onto the binding, and it's super, super easy. No invisible zipper, nothing complicated. So yeah, nice and easy. And then if it gets dirty, you can just take it off and throw it in the wash.
Without having to wash your form.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
This is an awesome entry. Thanks so much for participating.
Thank you.
Now, here is your call to action. Please vote for your favorite entry by clicking the link in the description of this video. That link will bring you to our website where you can click on your favorite project and cast your vote. And remember, when you vote for someone, you are automatically entered in a drawing to receive a $50 Sewing Studio gift card. But in order to win the gift card, you must also like this video. Thank you so much for participating in all of our employee challenges. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on anything fun happening here at the Sewing Studio. Bye!